As we all know, this Shabbos is Yom Kippur. So Yom Kippur is an amazing day. It's the most beautiful day. It's a happy day. It's a day of forgiveness. On this day, Moses went up into the high heavens and he begged God to forgive the Jewish people for the sin of the golden calf. The Jewish people had worshipped this idol, and God wanted to destroy the Jewish people. And Moses goes up onto Mount Sinai, and he begs God to forgive the Jewish people. And God does forgive the Jewish people on that day. So built into Yom Kippur is the capacity, and God says, I will forgive you for all the things that you've done that have created spiritual damage in the world. We were created imperfectly. We were created to mess up. And built into the fabric of the universe is the capacity for us to return back and start again, to go back cleansed to who we were before we were born and start all over again. Last week on Rosh Hashanah was the day that mankind was created. Today on Yom Kippur is the day where we're forgiven for all the things that we have done that have messed up the world. So we have to come into that day acknowledging that we are good people, that we are good. Each one of us is good, and our soul, that is who we are, that is constantly being breathed into us by the divine, is the essence of who we are. We have a body, but we have a soul, and that soul is who we are. After the sin of Adam and Eve, eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the soul that defined who they were got more hidden inside their physicality. And so what we see today is that greater physicality, the body, and we don't see the soul as much. And Yom Kippur is a day to focus on that soul. Each one of us is a shining bright light of soul that God is breathing into us. So we do things on Yom Kippur to focus on our soul. We don't eat and we don't drink and we don't put lotions on and we don't wear leather and all the things that we don't do on Yom Kippur. We might see them as a hardship, but perhaps we could see them as ways to not focus on our physicality, to say those things aren't important, because what I'm focusing on is feeding my soul, not feeding my body. My soul wants divine connection. So it's a day of prayer. It's a day where we recognize God in the universe. We recognize ourselves as souls. We recognize ourselves as good people. And we want to emulate God. We want to be God-like. We want to be God's emissary in the world. So we have the potential to be loving and kind and compassionate and forgiving. And all the things that God is, we have the potential to do those too. So when we come into Yom Kippur and we pray to God and we say, God, bring us back to the beginning. Let us start all over again. Wash us clean, just like you forgave the Jewish people after the sin of the golden calf. Please forgive us. And God says, I promise I'll forgive you. So it's a happy day where we come out of Yom Kippur. It's like a bubble of time we go into and we come out cleansed, new, ready to go, ready to be everything we have the potential to be. And we pray that God should make this year coming up be filled with sweet blessings and peace and no more tears and no more suffering.